kind of getting regular, play behind the play?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the opportunity to be here. But yeah, Ross goes down and he's the next man up, and he's recovering well. But like you said, just getting more at bats, getting more comfortable, just taking it one day at a time, and doing what I can to help my team win.
Was it difficult to catch a bullpen game when you've got 6 different pitchers out there, all different mixes and different tendencies, and every inning it seems like you've got a different guy there?
No, that's what the advantage of me actually being here in the fall was for this year and years prior. But you're here in the fall and you get to catch these guys over and over. You catch them in inter squads coming in the preseason. So now it's just whoever's on the mound is whoever's on the mound, and we got a pretty good relationship. So it's pretty easy.
Robbie.
Dane, really interesting journey the last couple of years for you. I mean, what's this been like, and how excited are you to get out there and be pitching in the SEC and doing what you did tonight?
It's exciting. I miss being on a team more than anything. Grinding on your own, it's cool, but being with these guys is probably the best part. Steve?
I think along those lines, too, the breaking ball, you do a good job of hiding baseball, but that breaking ball tonight looked more like the breaking ball that we saw earlier in the year. Maybe what have you refined here in the last couple of days to kind of get back to those mechanics you had early in the year?
Really just working with Park and settling down and getting used to the environment. Again, being away from baseball, it takes a toll on you, and just getting back up there and keep doing what you're doing, especially with Park's help, it makes it really easy. Doug?
Dane, you've had 2 weekends in the SEC play now. Is there something about the SEC that is exactly like you thought it would be, and what's the biggest surprise so far for you?
I think it's just a total surprise. You never know what it is till you get there, but I think it's great, and I think it's something you can work and build on and just really use to your advantage once you get settled in there.
As you pitch to the hitters, what are you finding as far as what you've got to do to overcome what they're trying to do?
Just be me, not tense up, not get too excited, just stay within myself. That's what's going to get it done.
David? Joe, your coach said your at-bat was the biggest of the game, driving those 2 runs. Take us through that, because 0-2 count, you just barely fouled the end of the bat off that. As you battled and got the base hit.
Yeah, like I said earlier, just the more pitches I saw, the more at-bats I'm getting, the more comfortable I feel, the more settled in I am. And like I said, the longer at-bat went on, I was just seeing it better. I was really comfortable with the strike zone, and I knew what he had, so I knew he had nothing really to beat me with in that at-bat. So just put my best foot forward there and, did what I could to put our team in a position to win.
Ben?
Dane, I know you don't throw quite as hard as some of the other guys in this bullpen, but it seems like your fastball maybe plays a little bit harder than its actual velocity just because of how it complements your breaking stuff. So how do you feel like your mix sort of plays off of each other well?
I think it's great, and I think that's all, Parker's doing. I came in here and he changed a lot of things up, and, I never questioned him. I just worked with him, and, that's really all it is.
Steve?
Joe, you mentioned that being here last fall kind of got thrown to the fire, literally and figuratively in many respects, but having the benefit of the fall, being really one of the guys, because last year, like guys talked about what a great teammate you were, even though you were a newcomer, but now that you've got 3 semesters under your belt, how close do you feel to this team, and how close do you feel like this team is as a whole as you guys get ready for the gauntlet of the SEC?
Yeah, last year, it was a unique situation, but I was able to come in, and a lot of guys were very welcoming, and we lost a lot of guys, but also we had a lot of guys returning, in the respect of just really good locker room guys and clubhouse guys and guys in the dugout. So it was just that semester under my belt, a good season under our belt, and now moving forward, having the opportunity to come back, I just felt more comfortable, got to experience some things that I didn't experience in the fall this year, and now coming into this spring, kind of more familiar with it, and just at this point in time doing whatever we can to win.
We'll do a few more, David. After the weekend in Oklahoma, how important was it to come out tonight and control the running game, and did you think you had that first guy?
The replay obviously said no. I thought it was pretty dang close. Whenever Lem's yelling after we review, he feels like he's got a pretty strong point at that. But yeah, we made it a big point. We switched some things up, and like you said, it was just more of a priority for us, and we took control of it.